Reddit goes down. Phone 2 from nothing is coming next month. And US intelligence confirms it buys Americans' personal data. All this and more on today's Tech News. Well, it looks like Reddit is starting to feel the impact of its widespread protests over its API fields. The site actually went down for about 3 hours after 7,000 subreddits became private in order to go dark. And if you're not aware of what's going on, basically Reddit has said it's going to start charging API fees for other party clients such as Apollo. Now, that is not a problem in itself, except for the fees were coming in as what the third parties are saying as extraordinarily high. And this has been a bit of a back and forth between Reddit and third-party developers. Now, there are several ones out there, such as Apollo, who have now confirmed that they will be closing at the end of the month, ready before the API fees come in. And so what the protests are is over how much Reddit is actually looking to charge. Now, a lot of them have not only just gone private, they've actually closed the subreddits down so you can't actually access them. Several actually diverted people over to Discord instead. So obviously, if Reddit doesn't start to change course, we could start seeing a lot of these subreddits stay off permanently, where people then go over to Discord instead, and this could have a bit of an impact in the longer term. So it'll be interesting to see what happens whilst this protests go on. The new 15-inch MacBook Air is available today, and Tim Cook says he thinks you're going to love it. Now, you can actually purchase the 15-inch with the M2 chip, and that is starting at £1,399. And if you want to go with the 512 gigabytes of storage instead of the 256 gigabytes, then that's going to cost you an extra £200 at £1,599. After a month of teasers, Nothing is ready to show off their second smartphone to the world. The company will hold a Nothing Phone 2 launch event on July the 11th, and that's at 11 AM Eastern Time. And the live stream will be available through the official website. Now, obviously, they're not showing much off about the phone, and they're trying to build the hype as they did with the Phone 1. And the Phone 2 may be more important than its predecessor for one main reason. It's the first Nothing handset that will be coming to the US on launch, whereas previously they did start making the Phone 1 available under certain plans, but it didn't obviously take off. Now, the Phone 2 is expected to obviously be a bit of an upgrade on last year's, but it's going to be shipped with the Snapdragon 778G Plus, and this is available for most mid-range specs. According to Jack Dorsey, Twitter's co-founder, it says that India, despite the status of the world's largest democracy, often issued requests to shut down hashtags and protests coverage from journalists around India. In early 2021, Twitter was ordered to suspend hundreds of accounts and curtail the visibility of certain hashtags after the Indian government issued threats of legal action against the US-based social media company. The orders from the Indian government manifested in ways such as, we will shut Twitter down in India, we would raid the homes of your employees, which they often did, and they will shut down offices if you do not follow what we order. Now, it is interesting to see these reports come out. Obviously, it's been a while since Jack Dorsey was in charge of Twitter, but it's still interesting nonetheless to see what actually goes on around the world. Now, as someone who's personally visited India on more than one occasion, the corruption among the government and officials around the country is actually vast, so this actually doesn't come in as too much of a surprise, but it's still interesting nonetheless. A new declassified government report confirms for the first time that the US intelligence and spy agencies purchase vast amounts of commercially available information on Americans, including data from connected vehicles, web browsing data, and smartphones. The report comes via TechCrunch, and it says, by the US government's own admission, the data it purchases clearly provides intelligence value, but also raises significant issues related to privacy and civil liberties. Now, this report has just been declassified, but to be honest, if you've looked over the last few years, especially since the Edward Snowden case, then this isn't really that surprising. What is interesting is that it's using IoT devices a lot more than they were first saying, and obviously this just shows how much information that these devices actually collect about you as well, and we will put a link in the description to this article so you can read it in full. After 28 years, the Blue Microphones branding is going away. Now, originally the company was set up as a repair company for microphones from the 50s and 60s, but eventually they started making their own microphones. Now, Blue is well known to podcasters and gamers. They come in with some cheaper brands, and the quality is not always the best, but it seems to be suitable for a lot of people. And then they've started to come up with distinct designs like the Snowball and the Yeti. But Logitech actually purchased the company in 2018, and have now gone on record to The Verge via Reddit on Thursday to say that they'll be keeping the Yeti brand and moving it under the Logitech G, and then the Blue name will be used to describe other devices instead. So what will be happening is the Blue microphone's name is now going to become Yeti, which is obviously a popular, well-known name. YouTube is lowering the requirements for creators to get access to monetization tools under the YouTube Partner Program. The company is expanding its shopping affiliate program to US-based creators who are part of the YouTube Partner Program and have more than 20,000 subscribers. The company now says that having 500 subscribers, 3 public uploads in the last 90 days, and either 3,000 watch hours in the past year or 3 million short views in the last 90 days will be eligible for the Qualified Partner Program. Now, previously you had over 1,000 subscribers and either 4,000 watch hours or 10 million short views in the last 90 days. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for listening, and we will catch you on the next episode.